Fiesta Days, the best time of the year to live in Spanish Fork. Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart, and I'm joined here with all the power players of Fiesta Days. Welcome the Chairmens Committee. First off, we have this year's chair couple, Robert and Gail Davies. Welcome.
Thank you.
Next, we have the co-chairs, Mike and Angie Clayson. And making sure that they do it all right, we have Mike and Kim Olson, the past chairs for Fiesta Days.
Thank you.
So exciting. It's the best time of year, right?
It is.
So fun.
And we're going to walk you through and talk you through the schedule, so grab your magazines and let's get ready to dive right in. So first of all, the theme this year, we are Spanish Fork. What does that mean?
Take it away, Robert. Come on.
Don't everybody talk at once.
I just think that, we are Spanish Fork, or we are SF. It's kind of neat to know that we're all from Spanish Fork, and we have ties here, and it's kind of nice to, we are Spanish Fork, every one of us. From, the newcomers, you can be a part of Spanish Fork, so yes, we are.
Robert and Gail have been out here, I think, all their lives, and Mike and Angie have been here a long time. Kim and I are transplants, if you will, but we've been here 27 years, so we feel like we're part of this community too. We felt like the theme embodied and encompassed everyone who wanted to be part of the festivities and part of the community, so that's why we liked it so much.
I love it. I think there's so much truth to it. I think it's just all encompassing. And who said that it's kind of the past, present, and future? It's all of that. So it continues to grow. But I think if you've been here forever, it's that pride. So I think it was a great theme. Who came up with it?
Gail did.
Awesome.
No, but
We threw a bunch of ideas
all
around,
voted.
and I think Gail's idea stuck. So.
Very good. And one thing I also love is the idea of having kind of the past, present, and future chairs as well. So making sure that they do it right. And then, of course, coordinating everything for this year. I mean, that's a huge feat. And then the responsibility of, rolling it over. Do you feel like that's still the best method, and is it working well?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think in anything like this, especially this big, that you want all new people coming in 1 year and starting over. So you need everybody's opinion and what happened good last year, or what didn't happen good, change it, fix it, and move on.
Right. Gosh, and it just takes an army, literally. I mean, there's so many volunteers that make that all happen. So thank you. Thank you in advance, because I'm sure that it's going to be awesome.
We hope so.
Okay, well, let's get started. Let's start walking through the events. So if you have your magazines, kicking things off on day one, July 15th, the softball tournament.
The Parks and Rec, they have a ton of activities that are going on throughout all of Fiesta Days this year. Their activities actually start things off and then close things out as well. So there will be tournaments throughout, softball tournaments, spike ball tournaments. There will be races that they sponsor. Parks and Rec just has a huge representation throughout all of Fiesta Days, and so I think probably best just to hit each tournament as we come to it, but know that they're all sponsored by our Parks and Rec team, which do a great job. I mean, Karen leads that effort there, and she's been doing it well since we had our kids in the programs ourselves. So she's done an awesome job with it. So we look forward to all those tournaments, and they bring lots of teams in to play and compete, and it's just a great time.
So do you know if those tournaments are already something that's pre-registered? Is that something you can still get involved in?
I believe most of the registration's already taken place,
Okay.
but I would suggest that you go hit SpanishFork.org,
Okay.
and any information about the signups will be there on that page.
Perfect. Okay. And let's see what comes after that.
Daughters of Utah Pioneer
Yes,
Museum
okay.
tours.
Sorry.
That museum on Main Street, the Daughters of the Utah Pioneer Museum, is a great treasure trove of histories, of photographs, of memorabilia, and it is open all summer. I can't tell you exact days and hours. I know it's open directly after the parade. There are hours written in the magazine, but it's a great place to go. You can buy histories, family histories. You can take the tours. They are free to the general public, and they're very full of the histories of Spanish Fork.
Okay, very good. And then the pyro musical concert and the show that is
So the
with
Power
that.
Musical Concert is something that we added, this is the second year as an official inclusion in Fiesta Days. Basically, 3 guys that got together kind of did it on their own for a few years, and last year we included them under the larger Fiesta Days umbrella, and they do a fantastic job. Matt Gilbert coordinates all the fireworks to music. Jason Turner is kind of their PR man out there pushing it, and Joe Anderson does all of the sound for them. This year, they've got 2 concerts. Hans Mill is going to be the warm-up to Peter Breinholt. Peter Breinholt takes off just after Hans Mill is finished. We're including 10 food trucks this year. So if you like Waffle Love, you like Art City Donuts, you like some good brisket, you like some kettle corn, that's all going to be down there. The food trucks will be there at 6 o'clock. The concert starts at 7. We anticipate fireworks starting somewhere around 9:30, 9:45. And this, again, is all free to the public. Matt and Jason and Joe have put this all together on their own. They've gone out and sought their own sponsors. And so Matt promised to make something that was just completely off the hook this year, and so we look forward to it. Last year, it was great, but he's quadrupled the number of shots he's going to have this
Wow.
year. So it should be just a fantastic show to see. And again, come on down to the sports park, free. Come get some great food. Food's not free, but the fireworks show and the concert is.
Awesome.
And there's also a change of where it was last year. It
Thanks,
used to be
Robert.
up at the junior high. This year it'll be down at Volunteer Park.
Thanks for that clarification.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
we figured we're just going to have such a bigger
Expand it
crowd.
a little bit.
And so we're anticipating 5,000 to 6,000 people down there. Parking will be tight, but come down there and walk a little ways. You can walk off your food before you eat it, and then you walk it off as you go back to your car.
Or
So come down
if
and
you're like
enjoy.
me, you just circle the trucks
You know,
and
I'm hoping
you
that
just kind of
I'm
keep
hoping that as
going.
a chairman, I get, maybe a couple free samples here and there. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah, you better make sure it's safe, right? Sample the
Exactly,
food. There you
exactly.
go.
So that'll be great. That'll be a great way to kick things off that evening.
Very good. All right, well, moving right along on to day 2, we have the pre-movie concert, and that's put on by Booth Brothers.
Yeah, we have Booth Brother coming in about 7:30, and they're going to do a little concert before the movie, and then the movie will start about 9:15, and we'll be watching Jungle Book.
Very good.
They'll have some other activities there. They'll have a little petting zoo and some fun activities for the kids too.
Wow, okay.
It's a fun night for families, but Booth Brothers, they are also longtime residents of Spanish Fork. And so this is a fun thing, I think, that's been added to the movie night. Everybody who knows any of the booths will know that they're going to enjoy that.
Right, super fun. Well, I think one thing that I learned kind of through the years too is that in the beginning I thought it was all about, just the rodeo event weekend, and it's really all about kind of these 2 weeks of events and the things leading up to it. So you have huge responsibility, but all of these fun things that go along with that.
Right.
So after the movie, what's next there on the agenda? Day 3,
Day 3.
the kickball challenge.
Again, another sponsor or another, I guess, representation of the Parks and Rec Committee. I've never played kickball. It looks like I'd be kind of awkward at it. I'm guessing I would be, but
I
it looks
find
like
that hard to
it looks like it'd be a riot. I mean, so yeah, come down and play some kickball.
And also the flag retirement.
This
you
is
know,
one of the
The Utah National Guard has been a help with this, and Mark Harrison is, he's the chairman over this, and he's been doing this for many years, and it's become one of the biggest flag retirement where you can go and show your respect for our country by, having the retirement of the flags in a proper way, and it's a neat experience for the Scouts and the Cubs. The Girl Scouts, everybody's welcome, and it is the biggest one in Utah.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, if you've never had a chance to go to the flag retirement ceremony, if anybody that has just even an ounce of patriotism in them, it's amazing.
Very touching.
And yes, you can easily be brought to tears.
Exactly.
Okay, day 4, we have the baby contest. Who's in charge of that?
Hey, we are in charge of the baby contest, but not really. Abby Taylor, she's the one that oversees this, and it'll be Wednesday at 3:30 at the Senior Center, and there's more information on the website. So if anyone is interested in that, contact Abby Taylor. Her contact info is on the website, so SpanishFork.org.
That's so fun to see that too. All of those adorable babies dressed up, especially in the novelty division when we are Spanish Fork. I can't wait to see what their little costumes are going to be.
It'll be fun.
And then some more ball, it looks like, the spike ball tournament. That one sounds kind of scary.
It's not.
No?
It's really fun. It's kind of a big tramp and different teams. It's teams
Oh,
of
spike.
Four
four?
or two.
Okay, 2 or 4. Anyway, and you bounce it off and then catch it, and it looks like it would be very fun. And I think registration is still open for that one.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think teams can get on the website and register and go down and participate in that.
Great.
Also, you got the Western Heritage Parade. It's in the past, it's been real fun to go down there and see the different animals and it gives other people a different opportunity to come and show their skills at riding horses and their love for the animals. But we invite everybody to come down on Main Street. It's fun activity.
And that goes the entire length of Main Street also?
Yeah, I
Yes?
think it
Okay.
starts up at
900 North.
900 North, and it goes right down to the fairgrounds. Yep.
Very good. Okay.
The rodeo grounds.
All right. Well, we are just getting started, everybody. Let's take a break. Welcome back. We continue on day 5, Thursday, July 20th, and one of my favorites, the sidewalk sales start.
What's your
You in
favorite
charge of
store?
that? Oh, I'm not allowed to say. I love them all. I love them all. I really do. I love all of the stores here.
Okay, so the sidewalk sales are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it's a fun tradition at Spanish Fork. I know I used to look forward to it when I was a kid. But it's fun to go support local businesses.
Yes.
And, just a good time. We used to always do it and then go hit the food at the park and make a whole day of it.
Yes,
So-
me too. Yeah. So I have the Texas Twister. I don't know why I always feel like I have to plug them, but I literally have my big drink, and yes, going shopping at
Shopping.
all of the vendors and all of the stores. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a
Now,
good
the
time.
20th really is the first day when we kick things off a lot around the library. The carnival is up and going by then. We've got all our food vendors on the park then. So it's a great way to start, I guess, the official activities that are right downtown at the nucleus of the city, right there. And so I think there's, how many food vendors do we have? I think over 20 food vendors this year, something like that. We've got the Carnival Browns Amusement will be back in town. They put on a great carnival for us last year, so they'll be back as well. I think aren't they doing the buddy passes that night as well? Does that sound right? Yeah. So if you've got buddy passes you've purchased, they'll be good for that night. So just a great way to kind of kick the whole thing really in gear on the 20th.
One of the things I like about having all of that at the park is the food vendors are there, but then also there's a family concert. And that night, it's put on by a 4-piece acoustic band called Cry Wolf. And so they'll play some rock and roll things, no amps, it's just all acoustic. It should be very, very interesting. And it's just a great thing to sit down, relax, eat your dinner, and have a concert. I think it's one of the nicest things that Spanish Fork does for the residents are these family concerts.
Kim
Very
tells me,
nice.
she says, okay, from about the 20th on, I'm not fixing dinner that night. And that was even before we were on the committee. She said, we're just going to get down to the park. So,
I'm with you.
So-
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if there's 20 food vendors, every night you kind of have to
Do I have
Variety.
Do I have to go to a
That's
different
right.
vendor every night, or can I keep
Yes,
going to the tri-tip
yes.
steak vendor? I really,
Well, I don't know. I
yeah.
guess you can have your favorites,
Yeah,
but
I
for
do.
me, I like to just try all of it.
Of course, the rodeo then kicks off that night as well. That's the first night of the
Oh.
rodeo. The only gold rodeo, I think, in Utah that I'm aware of. And so the rodeo folks, Steve Money and Nick, have just done a great job in promoting that and helping just get top talent and top stock here into our town. So it'll be fantastic.
Please remind folks the website for rodeo tickets if you've not picked them up already, because I know they sell out pretty darn fast.
I believe the website is actually sfcitytix.org.
Okay.
So, and that's TIX.org. So if you haven't already got your tickets, go there. I know that Saturday is already sold out from what we were able to find out. Friday still might have some openings.
Okay.
Thursday might have some, but they go fast. So go pick them up.
We got ours early. We're
Good.
really excited.
Thursday night is also the first night of the
Community theater.
community theater.
And it's Little Mermaid
Little
this year.
Mermaid. So that should be really good. So Thursday's a good day to get on your calendar and enjoy a whole bunch of things.
Wow, yes, so many things going on. So you have to pick and choose and spread out your time and mark your calendars.
Or just come do it again on Friday, because we're gonna repeat all those same events on Friday. So if you didn't get them all done Thursday, come
That's
down
true.
Friday.
So that's
and
that's
do
a
it
good
again.
point. So all of the things that kind of repeat throughout, I guess the big weekend would be the musical, the
Mm-hmm. Right,
carnival,
right.
the rodeo,
Right.
what,
All
and
the
I
food
guess all the
vendors,
vendors. Anything else that we're missing?
Well, we
That's-
pick
oh.
up the craft fair. The craft fair comes in on Friday as well.
Okay.
And is there through the duration. So that's typically just across the street, right by the city office buildings.
Okay.
And so if you're crafty at all or want to pick up a new hobby or something like that, Robert, I think they have crochet booths down there if you'd like to pick up some crocheting.
I'm gonna do it.
So I'd jump down there and see what you can find, buddy. Maybe you can even have a booth next year.
Okay.
The
What
other
about
thing
baby
that takes
quilt
place on
sales?
sale, that's what I was going
Okay.
to tell you, the baby quilt sale. The proceeds from that benefit the Daughters of the Utah Pioneer Museum. So they help to fund the needs there. They will be at 293, is that right? 293 North Main. So they have, throughout the year, the ladies of the DUP Museum have been making and quilting, hand quilting quilts. And so they will be for sale. They represent hours of work. And it's a labor of love for them, both for the people that will receive the quilt and for the museum that gets the benefits.
Yes. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And then one of the other big events, Spanish Fork's Got Talent. Who's in charge of that?
We are. And this has always been a fun thing to go down and watch, and I'm amazed at the people who are there and who are, first of all, brave enough to go up on the stage and sing in front of everybody. Maybe Mike and Kim will have an encore for last year, I don't know.
No, but thank you for asking. You know, Gail, I talked to Lou Wolford just the other day about who's in charge of that Spanish Fork's Got Talent. He said their submissions this year were fantastic. They did all online, all video submissions, and he said they're just a wide variety and array of talent that's going to compete this year. I wouldn't want to be one of the judges. I mean, how do you judge a musician against maybe someone who's playing guitar versus a dancer? I wouldn't want to judge that. But there's going to be a lot of folks down there this year, so, and they'll have great judges as well. So it'll be good.
It'll be good.
Yes, the talent here is incredible. So that's, yes, definitely
It's
make
always a
plans
fun
to
one.
attend that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and then what else do we have? Activities in the park on Saturday. What do those-
Saturday is a
Yes.
huge day. So many things going on, you really will have to choose. Children's Parade starts at 9 o'clock. All entries meet up by Park School. That goes down Center Street to the city park, and then that's where the fun just continues on. All kinds of booths for the kids to play games, to get tattoos, to bubble fun, to inflatable toys, fish rodeo,
Yep.
all kinds of things happening at the park until about noon.
Okay.
We'll have prizes for as long as the prizes last.
Okay.
It starts early, it's crowded, so be prepared to stand in line, but also just be prepared to have fun because it is a great time.
You know, Natasha, pretty much everything, I think with the exception of 2 events, everything on Children's Day is free. Bubble Fun is not free, and the fish rodeo is not free. But other than that, all the prizes the kids collect while they're going through shooting a Nerf gun at cans of pop, getting their face painted, that's all free. And that's kind of the theme of Fiesta Days in general it's a way for the city to give back to the community for all the volunteer hours that have been put in for whatever it might be. But it's a really, really nice way for the city to give back. And so, like Kim mentioned, it'll go till noon, and every year there's someone that shows up at 11:45 and says, I want to get in and do other activities. It's like, we're going to be closed in 15 minutes. You should have been here an hour ago. So we encourage people to come down early. The kids will need to get their hands stamped and have a little punch pass.
Okay.
So if they have both of those, and they'll need to be present at the ticket booth to pick those up, but get those, then they can go through to every one of the activities. And the bounce houses will be there, and they can go on those as much as they want. It's a great fun time. I mean, I think we have a lot of kids come from outside of Spanish Fork to participate.
Oh, I'm sure
and
you
play
do.
just in Children's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you for providing that. They do.
bet.
They have so much fun, so many activities. On a hot summer day.
On a hot day, you bet.
All right, what about the golf tournament?
I'm not a golfer, so I'm not going to speak to this. You guys golf? Mike, you golf, don't you? You're a banker. Come on, all bankers golf.
I do chase the ball around the course a little bit, in and out of the water. But yeah, the golf, it'll be up at Spanish Oaks, and it'll start at 8:30, and then they also have one at 2 o'clock. And it'll be a good time. I mean, even for guys that don't hit it straight, at least you hit it. It's fun. So
Okay.
I think on the golf, that's why you go back is you hit it one time real good, and you always want to make it better. So it is fun.
you know it'll happen again sometime, right?
Sometime.
And then there's also the car show. This is a big event.
The car show is going to be big this year. We changed the date a little closer to the 24th. It's on the Saturday as the children's parade, but you can go down at the park and do the children's parade, and then you can go right over to Volunteer Park. And there's going to be a pretty good car show. It's somewhere where you can go look at what your grandpas used to drive, and they have all kinds. There's going to be food vendors there, and it's a real nice show. And I think this year Spanish Fork's car show is probably one of the biggest ones on that day, that weekend, so it'll be good.
Awesome. Well, there are people that literally live for these car shows all summer long and take these vintage automobiles or these vehicles that they've worked on that are their babies all year to go to these car shows. Yes, they do. Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. Yes.
Won't you have food trucks at that?
And we will. We'll have food vendors there, and but it'll come down and enjoy it. It's the car show down at Volunteer.
Great.
At Volunteer Park. So.
Okay.
Yes.
And then rounding out the evening, the event everybody waits for, the big street dance.
Yes, and this year the band is going to be Fire at Will.
Okay.
It's for families. There will be dances that everyone can participate in, that singles can participate in, that couples can. It will just be an incredibly fun time to just get together as a community and have fun.
Very good. Okay, well, I think that's it for Saturday. Saturday is a big day. So day 8, Sunday, July 23rd. Sunday night is the concert in the park.
Broadway music. This is a fun event. Sunday night, bring the kids, bring grandma, and we hang out at the park, and it's one of our favorite events. It's a good time.
Just a quiet Sunday evening in the park.
Exactly.
Okay.
Starts at 7:30.
Yep, 7:30. We'll just prepare, a little downtime before the chaos the next day. It's a good time.
Yes. Yes. And then it begins, right? Well, as we get closer to the big day, we should take a break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are talking with the chair committee of Fiesta Days. Our discussion brings us to Sunday night in the park. There was one thing that we didn't mention before. So also on Sunday evening, there was a bit of
On
history
Sunday
there.
night, they give out a Pioneer Heritage Award.
Okay.
And so the committee looks at people throughout the town and see who that we think of that would be, fit into this event, not event. But anyway, Mark McCall is a longtime resident of Spanish Fork, and we chose him this year for Pioneer Heritage. He is 98 years old,
Oh my word.
and you'd never know it. He whistles down the street. He walks a couple miles a day. He started taking organ lessons at age 80.
Wow.
He's just amazing, and he will be a fun person for everybody to get to know.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's Sunday night as well.
Yes.
Okay, and then Monday, big day. So kicking things off with the grand parade.
No, kicking things off with the speedy
Oh, that's right.
6:30.
You're
That's long
well,
before the
I
grand
won't. I won't be there.
Oh,
You can be there. Go ahead. Yeah.
well, they have the 10K.
Yeah.
Starts at 6:30.
Goodness sakes. Okay.
Right. But for you and I, Natasha, there's a 1 mile run. We could do that.
Yes. Okay.
Chances are we won't, but we could. Starts at Canyon, the 10K starts at Canyon View Park and goes, obviously, 10K, and ends somewhere down by Volunteer Park. I'm not a runner.
You weren't in charge of the course, right?
I was not, right.
Okay.
Let's hope. Anyway, so that will start it off, and then the 1 mile run. And then the Grand Parade.
Okay, let's go to the Grand Parade now, because it will be broadcast live right here on SF-17, and all kinds of people and visitors and guests coming from surrounding cities to the Grand Parade.
I think the parade in this town is just, second to none. It is just, we have good entries. We have everybody in town who wants to go to the parade, even maybe parade haters. But I just think our parade in Spanish Fork is awesome.
I couldn't agree more. Yes.
At the same time is, starting at 9 o'clock is the quilt show.
Okay.
And so that's at Hughes Pioneer Park, that cabin, Hughes Cabin. And that will go all day from 9 to 5. It's a great thing to look at the various talents of quilting women and men, I think, around the community, and to see there's always a chance to vote for a favorite. And so that's a nice thing to do, to be able to go and see those.
And this is just an exhibit.
This is
Not-
just an exhibit,
not
not for
okay,
sale.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and what about the water park? What's going on at the water park?
I believe they're open that day. and
Okay.
I believe it's 1 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes.
Same hours? Okay.
Yeah, same hours. And wow, I'm thinking they have reduced rates for that day. Does anyone know for sure?
They do.
So again, check the website, SpanishFork.org.
Okay.
And there will be an entry there on the calendar that talks about the water park and their hours. And I believe they're doing a special for families that day, so you can go down there and play and enjoy your time down there.
Okay,
And
marvelous.
cool off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go, yes.
It will be a warm day.
Yes, it will indeed. Okay, and then Adopt a Duck. This is super
Adopt a
fun.
Duck is put on by the fire department. It's a fundraiser for the Spanish Fork Fire Association, and it's a neat time to go down to the river and spend a little time. They drop them in on Main Street on the river, and they pick them out. Or the finish line is at bridge by Riverview Elementary. And it's fun. It's fun to go down there and sit under the bridge and watch the rubber duckies come in, and it gets exciting. It's fun, but
Is there a prize, Robert, for first place?
there's some prizes. There's about 10 or 15 prizes, and but anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's
So is it like $1 per duck or
I
something,
think
and then
it's,
essentially the ducks race?
there's
to
a kids
get,
race,
okay.
and then there's an adult race. The kids ducks are $1 a piece,
Okay.
and but all the money from the kids goes right back to the kids. None of
Sure.
that's and then the others are $5 donation for the other ducks. But
Okay.
Anyway,
And who does that benefit?
the Firefighters Association.
Good, good.
Well, and of course, this is the big holiday, so the holiday wouldn't be complete without the fireworks.
Well, but before that, though, there's something else that happens in the afternoon. Angie, you want to tell us about that?
Oh, after the parade,
Okay.
entertainment in the park will begin.
Ooh.
And
yes.
this is a long tradition in Spanish Fork that everyone looks forward to. Brian and Susan Pendleton have put together some awesome talent. I do know Pat Swenson, someone that is well known in Spanish Fork. He'll be there performing.
Okay.
The Junior Miss, all of the contestants in that will perform, and Miss Spanish Fork and her royalty. So
Yes.
it will just go until it's over, probably 10:30 till about 3 or 4.
Perfect.
So stop by, have lunch with the vendors at the park, and take in some entertainment too.
Very good.
Another thing on that at the park is, there's a lot of shade at the park. That's why they hold it there. There is some chairs usually under the canopy, but you're welcome to bring your own chairs and sit, wherever you want, and just sit back and listen and enjoy the whole Fiesta Days spirit. It's fun.
I'm glad that you mentioned it, because it's such a clean environment there as well. There's plenty of restroom facilities to use there, and they keep it so clean and picked up. I've noticed the volunteers in the past, even with their T-shirts that say volunteer, and they're picking up the garbage. It's immaculate there and really nice and cool and shaded.
And I'm sure when you get down there, you'll see people you haven't seen for quite a while. 'cause
Oh, that's half the fun, right?
You know, it is, and you know, I was talking today. It's kind of weird how you can live 2 blocks away from somebody and you don't see them till certain things. You know, you don't even see it at the grocery store, but Fiesta Days is a place to go reunite friendships, and it's fun.
It's true, and I'm glad that you mentioned that also, because it also seems to be a time that everybody comes home. So even if they live out of state, it's the time that they come home and visit with families and go to the rodeo, or maybe have class reunions and plan so many things surrounding that, or even family reunions. So again, that same hometown spirit that just,
That's the small town.
yes, love it.
small
I mean, yes, everything about it.
And then, like you mentioned earlier, Natasha, we do get to the end of that, of the 24th, and we have, of course, that's the last night of the rodeo, so they'll be wrapping up. But folks can come down to the sports park there and set up anytime they want to. We'll have a pre-concert, or pre-fireworks concert, excuse me, put on by SOS, Speed of Sound. And Gail, you have a niece that's the lead singer there?
I do. Another hometown girl. Ashley Garvey Smith is part of that band. And they were the band that was at the
Pyro Musical
the
last
Pyro
year.
Musical last year. So they're awesome.
Awesome.
And so that's fun, again, to involve our hometown people in that concert.
Very good, yes.
And then after the rodeo ends, and we'll do a countdown for the fireworks show, and that's our big finale for the major events for Fiesta Days. And so that'll kick off probably about 10:30.
Okay.
We're kind of dependent upon the end of the rodeo before we kick that off, but that'll be a great professional presentation that's put on by some great folks.
Wow, an amazing feat that you pull off every year. So thank you and congratulations. It's a lot of work that goes into this. You're nearly there. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up today?
2 more events.
Okay.
Tennis tournament
Oh, okay.
is that week following Fiesta Days, and registration for that is still open until the 14th of July.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, the 29th, we have the Fiesta Days 50-mile bike ride and 10-mile family
Oh,
bike ride.
yes,
We
okay.
did that last year as well. So the family bike ride is just a short 10 miles, and all
It's very
families
short,
do it.
yeah.
It's just out, I think, to the Benjamin Church and back. The Fiesta Days 50 goes over into Goshen, out around Utah Lake. It's a beautiful ride. Usually takes the morning, starts at 7 o'clock. And registration for that is also still open. They can do that from the website.
And
Very
and
good.
the
Okay.
registration for both the family and the Fiesta Days 50, there's a fee involved, but that fee actually comes back and benefits the city, or a portion of it does. And so that's sponsored by Blue Haven Foundation, which is a foundation that's been established for widows and widowers of those in uniform who've been killed in action, or killed doing their job, excuse me. And so it's a very worthwhile cause, but some proceeds from that do come back to support our own city as far as firemen and police and things like that. So it's, again, a worthwhile thing to participate in.
Very good. I always love those types of events where it's
Exactly.
giving back. So I guess one of the questions I'd like to ask you all too is why do you do this? What makes you want to give back?
It's kind of like the military. You're voluntold to do it.
Oh.
You don't really lobby for it and say, I want to go do it.
But the reason you do it is because this is a great community. We have learned over these past 3 years how much work that we never had any idea goes into Fiesta Days. The untold volunteers and volunteer hours. And it's very humbling and quite a privilege to be able to be part of that process.
And certainly, I mean, you have to be a little prideful too when it all comes together and you see all of your hard work finish and everyone, I guess, in their volunteer shirts and the community coming together. I mean, it really is that hometown pride just to be a part of it. Like, I'm not even a part of your on your immediate board, but there really is kind of just that hometown pride, and it makes you feel Really good. So again, thank you. Thanks to all of you for your service and your time. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all of your service to the community. Fiesta Days is the best time of year in Spanish Fork. We encourage you to get your Fiesta Days guide right here. You can get it in the mail, or you can pick one up and make your plans, get the family together. And thanks for watching.